So good afternoon and welcome to Pittsburgh City Council Cablecast public hearing for Tuesday, January 27, 2026, relative to bills 2026 39 and 40. Would the clerk please read the title of the bills?
Bill 39, ordinance directing the Allegheny County Board of Elections to place before the qualified voters of the city of Pittsburgh at the 2026 May primary election a referendum question: shall the Pittsburgh Home Rule Charter, Article 3, Legislative Branch, be amended by changing the budget approval rules to ensure timely passage at the end of the legislative session? And Bill 40, ordinance directing the Allegheny County Board of Elections to place before the qualified voters of the city of Pittsburgh at the 2026 May primary election a referendum question: shall the Pittsburgh Home Rule Charter, Article 3, Legislative Branch, be amended by changing public hearing notice requirements to adjust the public hearing notice requirements in light of the loss of both newspapers of general circulation in the city?
Thank you very much. Let the record reflect that we are currently joined by Councilwoman. No, I lost my panelist screen. I apologize. I know we were joined by Councilman Salinetro, and I believe that's all for right now. I believe we have one registered speaker, Ikahana Halmalkina. I apologize. It's Chief Pomai Chakman Yahelehi.
Thank you. No worries, Daniel Lavelle, because people mix us up all the time. Good day, everybody. I'm here today to speak on behalf. Oh, let me just start from the beginning. So my title is Chief Pomai Chakman Yahelehi, and I'm here today on behalf of Upstream Pittsburgh and the Environmental Justice Table, representing residents and community members from environmental justice communities across the city of Pittsburgh. I'm speaking today in response to Bills 39 and 40, which propose amendments to the Pittsburgh Home Rule Charter related to the budget approval times and public hearing notice requirements, and which would be placed before voters in the May 2026 primary. We recognize the intent behind these proposals, particularly the need for timely governance and the reality that Pittsburgh has lost both newspapers of general circulation. However, for environmental justice communities, how these changes are designed and implemented matters deeply, because notice, access, and participation are not abstract principles. They determine whether residents and community members can meaningfully engage in democracy at all. For communities that already face barriers such as limited internet access, language access needs, disabilities, irregular work schedules, and historic exclusion from decision-making, public notice requirements are often the only bridge to participation. When those requirements are altered, especially in response to institutional changes like the loss of newspapers, the risk is not neutral. Without strong safeguards, the risk falls disproportionately on the same communities that are already underrepresented. Transparency cannot be reduced to a matter of administrative efficiency, and inclusion cannot be sacrificed in the name of expediency. If public hearing notices are no longer anchored to traditional print media, then the city has an obligation to replace, not weaken, those channels. That means investing in multiple accessible, community-centered forms of notice, including neighborhood-based outreach, trusted community organizations, accessible digital platforms, and clear timelines that allow residents and community members time to understand and respond. Similarly, with respect to budget approval rules, environmental justice communities need assurance that changes intended to ensure timeliness do not inadvertently compress opportunities for public input, limit community oversight, and reduce transparency in how public dollars are allocated, especially when those dollars directly affect housing, infrastructure, environmental health, and basic needs. Putting these questions before voters is appropriate, but only if voters, particularly those from historically marginalized communities and Aboriginal American Indigenous communities, are given clear, accessible, and honest information about what these amendments would change and how their voices will continue to be protected. Today, we urge City Council commit publicly to enhance, not diminish, public notice standards, ensure the environmental justice communities and Indigenous communities are actively engaged in outreach and education around these referendums, and affirm the efficiency in government will not come at the expense of the democratic access or public trust. Environmental justice is about fairness and process as much as fairness in outcome.
Thank you very much. Also, I want to let the record reflect that we've been joined by Councilman Mosley. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. Are there anyone in attendance wishing to speak? Please raise your hand at this time. Let the record reflect that Councilwoman Deborah Gross was also online with us. Are there anyone wishing to speak? If not, I will simply thank Chief Pomai for her comments. That is actually the intent of what we're doing here. With that, having exhausted the business of this meeting, we are adjourned.